Francisco, but I've been to Southeast DC. And I can tell you the people of Southeast DC are people before gentrification. These are people that know what they like. They know chicken wings with mambo sauce. They know go-go music. And they know a good laugh when they hear one, a good joke that'll make them laugh. I promise tonight we will be funny, but we will be real as always. I remember one time I was hanging out with these guys, my boys around the way, right? And there was this guy that we had with us. He was a Jamaican dude. And at the time, back in the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s, Jamaican dudes were the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't just black, they were black with spice. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, the drug dealing craze was all across and sweeping the country, particularly the Washington, D.C. area. And you wanted to be known with people that had a lot of money, even if you were broke like we were. So we, in our mind's eye, we thought, this guy, this Jamaican dude, was going to be our key to success. Turns out he was just a bad guy. He was just a Jamaican guy, pretty much got kicked out the country. He got kicked out the country like 2 years later. But at the time, we thought that he was amazing. His name was Andre. Andre ended up getting deported. But before he got deported, we're sitting in the car with him, and we're going to some place down in D.C. We're going to go to a club, hang out, whatever. And on the way back from the club, we had a good time. We had a good time at the club. We come back, we get in the car, we're driving back. We're driving through this neighborhood. And Andre says, "Hey, man, stop, man. Pull over here. I need to go in here and say what's up to this girl that I know." I said, "Okay, cool." I wasn't driving. My friend Jimmy was driving. So Jimmy pulls over. Andre gets out the car. He was in the back seat. We're in the front seats. He gets out the car and he goes, talks to his friend. We couldn't see where they were. It was a big apartment complex. Couldn't see where this person was going. And all I know is about 20 minutes that we're sitting there just shooting the shit, wondering where the hell he is. We hear gunshots. Then all of a sudden, Andre, he runs back to the car. He runs back to the car, he gets in the car, and he says, "Drive, drive, 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 drive." It's like, Jesus, what the hell happened there? You know what I'm saying? We didn't know what was going on, but we know we're going to drive and get the hell out of here. So we drove out, and he said, "Kill the lights." So we killed the lights. And as we're pulling out, we're driving away, cops are coming past us. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So we got pretty far away. We pulled over. We had to ask, "Andre, what the hell happened? What happened, man? What was all that about?" He said she had a friend with her. He didn't like me stopping by. Give it up for my people. Give it up for my people, my people, my people. Now, that's not why he got deported. But that night, I realized that Andre was not as bad. He was just like any other guy, any other black guy, or, white guy, I guess. Any other guy. Just a regular human being, flesh and bone, and a fast runner when people have guns and shoot them at you. He's a good guy. Good guy. Good guy to get out of here at night. This is a Tim Black Show. We do politics. We do breaking news. We do U.S. politics. I talk about other things sometime in international politics, but very sparingly because I'm from here. And this is the scope of the show that we do. We do breaking news. We talk about things that have been happening. Of course, since we do breaking news, we were talking about the election season. We're talking about Joe Biden. We're talking about Trump. We're talking about all the stuff that happened. So we got to do that. But I want you to know, folks, I want you to know that the Tim Black Show is dedicated, supported by people like you that watch this show. So, it is what it is. Thanks for being here. I can't lie to you. I mean, I could lie to you. Don't get me wrong. I could lie to you. I could be like Don Lemon. I could come up here and lie to you. I could, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Don's the only person that does this. I'm just saying, man, there's a lot of foolery and chicanery around here. You know what I'm saying? What I mean is, I can't pretend. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna go for some money. I'm gonna try to make some money for this show, and I feel like, hey, I need to do this, and you'll understand because you have jobs and there's things that you have to do. I'm sure that there are things that you do on your job that require you to do them in order to get your paycheck. So if there ever becomes an issue or situation where I have to do something for a paycheck, I'll let you know, and I'll be like, hey guys, I got to do it. Here goes the sponsor for the show. Obviously recognize if it's a sponsor, they help and support the show because Tim Black has a family, he has to take care of his family. You understand that. You understand business. We don't live, part of what was wrong with the progressives, a lot, it seemed like they didn't understand that economics do have a play, in how life functions for us. Everybody can't couch surf. I'm too old to be couch surfing on a friend's couch. And I got kids and now grandkids, so I can't. But they didn't understand. They didn't care about any of that because, they live, it just didn't seem like they understood. But I'm sure now that I have you guys, you understand what we're doing and what we're trying to do. That being said, I'm watching these people bring on Candace Owens. And I'm not talking about the white outlets bringing her on. I'm talking about the black outlets they bring on. And they always do so under the strength that they're saying, hey, you know what we're trying to do? We're just trying to have conversations. We're just trying to have conversations. I say, wow, that's interesting. They just want to have conversations. That sounds like something you got off of a network full of a bunch of people that weren't dragged and talked down to for the last 300 years. You know what I'm saying? We just want to have conversations. That doesn't sound like those are people that say something like that don't sound really like connected to like a history of struggle and stuff that we've been going through here. Like, just want to have conversations. I don't want conversations. I want justice. I don't want just conversations. I want to get to the real shit. I mean, my audience doesn't want us to just have conversations. It's like the Joe Roganification of America. Everybody wants to just have conversations, which really to me is, I want to pick this bag up because the bag is nice to have and I need to make some money. And damn all the politics and damn what they did and damn what they said before. None of that matters because I need to pick up this paper. But see, since no one can say that, they say we just want to have conversations. We just want to chit chat. I'm trying not to be too judgy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what I mean. I mean, obviously, you're going to watch who you want to watch. You're going to subscribe to and be about and buy shit and go see if people come out and go see and do whatever you want to do, right? It's just if on your program you talk about how wrong it is to be, if you're a person who's used your soapbox to say, hey man, we need equality in the black community and we need this and we need that and and don't bomb the don't bomb the Palestinians and don't do this and don't treat LGBTQIA like this, and you're like, one of these people, like the liberals. You're supposed to be like, you're one of the liberals, right? And I'm trying to understand. I mean, this motherfucker said we shouldn't have Black History Month and we need to like get rid of Juneteenth as ghetto and this and that and that black people are bad at this and bad at that. And I'm just trying to understand what conversation needs to be had that includes a person that does that. And I get it, like I said, economics, I get that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know. But when they do these things, man, it just reminds me, man, this whole media game is garbage. And I just wish somebody would have told me when I was coming into it, when I was entering this space, when I was entering this field, that I would have to learn to be just as much full of crap as everybody else, because every 99% of people, 98% of people are just full of crap. because they have no core in what they do. They just do what they do. And I'm saying they don't even level with their audience. And it's like their audience doesn't even care. They don't even care that this person has never, ever supported, ever had a kind word for a single solitary person killed by cops, except for Philando Castile for some strange reason. And I'm like, I sit back and I'm like, God damn, this is odd. This business is garbage, man. I'm watching it in real time just like you are. I'm seeing all this stuff happen in real time just like you are. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm covering a lot of the Biden stuff, and I'm covering, covering the elections. I cover the elections every time they come around. That's what I do. This show is political, but it's not missed upon me, man, that we got two horrible choices, really. Like both choices. I mean, come on, guys. We got 333 million people in the country, and we got the same two guys from the last time we had an election. I mean, come on, man. Who we fooling? If you were dating people and you went out and you haven't been on a date in 4 years, and it's been 4 years since you dated, and you go back and call the same person that it didn't work out with last time. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but that's where we are. So, I mean, it's just some realities we got to face. We got to face that the media is shit. And from a bad media, we get bad politics as well. And it's just a vicious circle of denial. And all I'm saying is, like, I just want to be honest, man. And I don't want, if I choose, whatever I choose to do, whatever I'm trying to do, I want to be real to it. So, yeah, I'll talk about Biden's decrepit ass. I would talk about his cognitively challenged ass, and it's not about age. It's about functionality. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm looking over, and it's like these people, they don't care. And we got a whole nother set of people that are fighting to say Biden's good. They don't give a shit if he poops his pants or if he mixes up Trump with his vice president, or they don't care about anything. And it's just what it is. That's all I'm saying. It's just the way it is. It doesn't get better. And if you try to figure it out, you just end up with a headache. Because at the end of the day, it's all about corruption for the same people that bring on Candace Owens. She is as dishonorable as she can be, as unethical, anti-black as her entire career. And that's the only thing that worked for her, because she was once upon a time a liberal person. And what does that say about this system? What does that say about what we got going on? At least she's consistent. She's consistent in her anti-black bullshit. What's worse than her are the people that would be criticizing her until she became a free agent, and now they platform her. And don't even have the decency, or go on her platform, and don't even have the decency to challenge her on all the stuff that she said over the last 8 years. And then we say, how do we end up with these two guys when we got 333 million people? Because we give that type of unethicalness, that type of, we give it a pass. Because we're all so numb. It seems. We're all so numb to this is just how things work, man. It's just how they work. And that's not good for a Friday. You're thinking all this stuff. This is how I process the thing. And I'm like, okay. I really want something better for us, man. I want us to have better options and more options. But just one of them ain't enough. So we are where we are. We are here. And it's okay. But every once in a while, it just says, you know what, stop and think about it. Stop and think about what we're doing and where we're at. And try not to get depressed and try not to get too down about it. And drink you some wine or roll something up or do whatever. You go for walks, drink tea if that's you, meditate. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is, but at the end of the day, you better be a fast runner. And I'll hit the lights and we'll get out of here together because that's the reality. That's really what's going on, man. You got to be quick and up out of this crap. And I thought it was going to be different. You know, I thought Andre was a cool Jamaican guy. And Andre is a punk ass, and Andre is a fast runner, and thank God he was. And I thought that this person, I looked at before I even got in this business, I was seeing these people on TV, man. And I was like, these people are really dope at what they do. And then they do this, they bring on the Antichrist, the anti-Black Christ. They platform the anti-Black Christ. So then we blame the Congressional Black Caucus for being what? The same thing. Willing to just throw us under the bus and go jump on the APAC train. You know what I'm saying? But we still support these people that do the same thing in just other ways. Because it's all the same thing. Sellouts. Corruption. Won't stand on business. Or maybe they are. Maybe that's their business. Not standing for shit. And picking up a bag and pretending nothing happened. I don't see numbers dropping. I don't see no change. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to think if you got in a fight with somebody, and if you were right, if you were righteous, you'd win the fight. I used to think that. You know, how many people thought that? Did you ever think that? If you were in the right, you're supposed to win. You're supposed to win. If you're in a fight and you're in the right, you should win. And I just thought that's just the way the universe would bend to you because you were the right person. But I don't know, man. Sometimes you get your ass kicked even when you're right. Even when you're right. It's been a lot of people that were right who came home and their spouse had cleaned out the house and the bank account because they felt they met somebody at the club. You know what I'm saying? And it's just how it is. That ain't even funny. I don't even know why I use that as an analogy, but that's some people have had that life. I'm just saying, it is what it is, guys. Look, I'm sorry you got to choose between Trump and Biden, and I'm sorry that people like Mark Lamar Hill, people like Breonna Joy Gray, and then Don Lemon all were so attracted to the money and the opportunity of being with Candace Owens that they would do that to the Black community. I just feel like it's got to be said. It's got to be said. And then they're all bigger than me, make more money than me, so it don't matter, right? And they have flourishing careers. And mine is not as flourishing, you know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why, because I got this thing, I think it's like, like ethics or something, but I think it's just being stupid because they're fine. Nothing happened. World didn't stop turning because they went on there with the Antichrist. So I don't know, man. I think I got some stuff figured out, then I don't have a whole lot of stuff figured out. I guess I should have picked up on this, man. I should have understood it. But I guess I'm just slow, man. When I went to Politicon and I was on a panel with Tommy Lauren, which is the original Candace Owens, she's just white. She's the budget-friendly Megyn Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Who had all the anti-Black stuff down packed, So she was. And I'm sitting there with like people on progressive people that are bigger than me and have huge platforms, and wouldn't even bring up like she was the most anti-black person in media at the time, in independent media. And I'm sitting there like, damn, won't you just gonna let, we're on the topic of divisiveness in independent media, and she's on a panel with us, and you're not even gonna say anything? You're not going to bring up this obvious elephant in the room? Is this mofo right here? It'd be saying a bunch of racist crap like Colin Kaepernick taking the knees like ended the world or something? Like that was caused Ebola virus or some shit by him taking a knee? Like what? And I guess I should have figured it out then that this system, that this media shit is just a bunch of ass kissers and get-alongers, and they pretend to be upset about things, but they're really not upset about anything. They really don't care. They really don't care. And until I called her out, the crowd was just, they weren't throwing apples or eggs or tomatoes. They sat there too because it was just a show to them. But I felt like I'm on a stage with this person who says everything she can that's horrible about people that look like me and about our culture and about blackness and about everything, and big ups the cops and all this shit all the time. And I can't sit here and have a conversation about divisiveness and pretend she's not, and she's actually talking, pretending that she's not divisive. Like, yeah, we need to fix divisiveness in media should all work together. I'm like, hold on a second. You're the most divisive person in independent media. And then I said that and the crowd started clapping, and the people that was there with me that should have been saying it, who have been in this business twice as long as me, was like, oh yeah, go ahead, Tim. Like they didn't want to burn a bridge with her. They didn't want to say because they didn't want to burn a bridge with her so they could work together, because there is a camaraderie and a business like aspect to this that, hey man, we just doing the word game. And really sort of like our politics, sort of like you say, you'll see a Republican with a Democrat arguing on the floor or something. You hear Jasmine Crockett going at, I don't know, that McCarthy or whatever his name is, and they're going at it or whatever. Or maybe who's the white guy that says, you don't like cops, well, next time you get robbed, call a crackhead. That guy. Yeah, that guy. They're going at it or something on the house floor, but then if you could see them like on a weekend, they're at a picnic or something, clinking beers or wine glasses, because it's just for the show. It's just demonstrate. It's just entertainment. It's not real. And in the reality, man, that's really how it is. That's really what this is. And that's really what politics is. It's for the show. None of it's real. To them, it's real as shit to us, but it's not real to them. Get what I'm saying? And they got to keep a certain decorum, because to take any of this personal, to take any of this seriously, to even do a show where I'm saying this right now, is to be not getting it. It's to not understand really what's going on. It's to be a lame and not get what we're doing here, which is BS. It ain't real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm off script. I'm off code. Being real is off code. And when they pretend to be real, they're not being real. They're not being real at all. They're pretend. They're acting like this. They're upset. I'm upset. I can't stand this and this person. And then reality, though, when it really comes down to it, that's not how they really roll. That's not how they really feel. They're where's the bag? Where's the bag? That's what it is with them. So what's that got to do with everything, Tim Black? Tie this shit together. I'm lost here, bro. Well, what I'm saying is, it's the same thing with the politics. Trump was a Democrat till he was like 60, 65, 70 years old, whatever it was. Till he was 70, he was a Democrat. a registered Democrat since he was, I guess, old enough to vote till before he met Hillary, before he ran against Hillary. And him and Bill Clinton and Hillary, all of them and his wives, whoever he was with at the time, they were friends. And their kids grew up together and had sleepovers and shit. And then it's like, okay, maybe over a dinner, maybe it was a golf bet between Bill and Don Trump. Somebody lost a bet. It was like, well, I can beat you. I'll beat you next time. And Trump was like, oh, I'm going to beat you next time. I'm going to get you. You cheated, Bill. And Bill's like, oh, come on, Hey, sometimes, I got to be with Hillary. So, I did not have sexual relations with that woman and I did not cheat. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And then they got into a back and forth or whatever. Well, no, you did cheat, and then, no, you didn't cheat. And then, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run against, what you guys think you're big times because you're president and you're the first lady, but guess what? I can beat the brakes off you. You can't. No, you can't. Oh, let's see what happens. I'm gonna run against you. You can't run it. I own it. And Hillary's like, and Bill's like, hey, we own it. Well, hold on now. Hold on now. We kind of own the DNC. You can't run. It's our party. We own it. He's like, well, I'll run as a Republican then. It's like a little bit of daylight between Republican and Democrat at that time. I mean, you sprinkle in Roe versus Wade, like reversal and stuff. Now it's a little bit more wider, but before then it was like pretty much the same. I mean, back then, Obama had just came out. He had just changed from marriage was between a man and a woman. He had just switched that in 2010. Right? So up until like around those times, it was like a little bit of sunlight between them. Very little. Not enough to, if you were a vampire, wasn't enough to burn you. So it's a slither of light. So it was all what I'm saying was all BS. And then Trump said, okay, I'm gonna run as a Democrat. I'm gonna run as a Republican, and I'm gonna show you, Hillary. Like, okay, well, how much you want to bet? He said, hey, look, money's no object. $1. $1. They bet $1, and Trump ran as a Republican, and then Hillary ran as Hillary. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. And that's why they passed the question to Hillary in the debate. CNN passed her that question. They shouldn't have did it. They did it because she had a bet going on against Trump, and she had to beat Trump. And then it got nasty, it got dirty, and they scored, first blood, and Trump, he did whatever he had to do. He did the birther thing to get there. He had to, because he had to win the dollar bet. But this is all a game to these rich people, man. They are not. It's real to the people that it affects, but it's not real to the players. Get what I'm saying? It's real, and there's the audience, and then it's all the rest of the people who are playing in it are in the movie, playing roles. And once you come out of, like, famously, LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx got into a fight on the set of Any Given Sunday. Somebody got serious, because it was a scene where Jamie Foxx was talking smack to LL, and LL really got mad and punched punched the shit out of Jamie Foxx. Jamie's like, man, this is acting, man. What are you doing, And what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. It's like, this is acting that they do. It's not real. But LL, you couldn't tell him that, because whatever Jamie said, he took that to heart like you meant that. Now, you said that like you meant it. It's supposed to feel like I meant it. That's why it's called acting. It's supposed to feel to the people watching that I'm serious, that it's real. I'm not even me when I'm doing it. I'm Billy, whatever his name was. Billy something. This making sense? So this media thing is just like that. And when I say, hey, why you bring on Candace? Why you platform this anti-black person? She's like, what? They're like, what are you talking about? It's about money, baby. Where you been? But they can't say that. Because if they say that, the emperor's got no clothes. People will hear it. They can't tell you the truth that everybody's acting. And to tell the truth ruins the entire thing. There is no sides. It's broken paid. And everything else is smoke and mirrors. Everything else is a fabrication. It's money and it's no money. And I know we got race in there, you know what I'm saying? But that's used as a mechanism as a tool to get to the money. You know, because ain't nobody blacker than a person who needs to be black in order to win a race. You know, there is nothing more black than a person who can use that to get something. You know what I'm saying? Or a person who can, hey, listen, cover black content or cover the poor black person was shot by the angry white cop. And that's just the easiest money ever in the media game. It's only used in this business to extract, to make money. And that's the whole purpose of it. And so you can't have Al Sharpton without Tommy Lawrence. She serves a purpose. You can't have a Candace Owens, Tim, without insert name of Angela Rye. You get what I'm saying? You got to have the yin and the yang in order for the dance to work. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is. You're not getting it, Tim. These are roles people got to play. I'm like, but nah, man. And they're like, yeah. The same way Joe Biden plays a role. The same way Kamala's playing a role. The same way Trump's playing a role. The same way Mike Pence played a role. Can Mike Pence legitimately be that devoid of a personality? Is it possible that he could be that much? I haven't heard his name uttered in about 2 years. Like, can he possibly be that vanilla? You know what I'm saying? White rice with no salt, no butter, no nothing, no seasoning, nothing. Is that even possible that a person could be that way? Probably not, unless if that person is playing a role. And you play your position in your slot, and everything will work out. And you can become vice president, a job he never should have had. So I don't know, man. It's a kooky system where it's all pretending. It's none of them are genuine. They're just not genuine, Johnson. They are phony. And they all had to learn it, but they won't tell you. They won't tell you. They won't admit they're playing a role. They won't admit this is a system of roles. And just like when you watch Friends or Power or, All in the Family or whatever you've ever watched, none of those people are those characters. Those are facades. Those are role playing. Yeah, they're role playing. That's all it is. And for you to think anything else means you're a normie. You don't get it. Because you can't stand on righteousness and 10 toes down and all that other crap I talk about. Not in this business, because in this business, none of that is rewarded. None of that is rewarded. If you do actually stand on business, they will get you up out of there. They will make sure you are not here, because you are a threat to the system at that point when you stand on business. Someone said, man, Tim Black, man, you're a real journalist, man. You be, really putting it down, man. You are, you have skills and you be developing, you be showing your skills. So don't lower yourself and get theatrical. Don't lower yourself and exaggerate and, make fun and, do Jim Clapper. I'm Jim Clapper. I'm Jim Clapper. And don't do Cory Booker. Or, don't do this. Nah, no. No, Tim, no, 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 don't do that. And like, dude, if I don't infuse a little comedy into this, first of all, I'll be born as hell to do this, okay? Because that's part of who I am, part of this, part of my way of delivering makes me unique. It's a lot of smart people that can talk. So just being smart and talking, that ain't enough because everybody be doing this shit. If everybody's smart and just did a YouTube channel, you got to have some extra. But more than that, it's one way to avoid getting totally canceled and totally somebody coming for my ass. You understand what I'm saying? And it gives me a little bit of plausible deniability when you throw in a little bit of joke here and there, because they get rid of people that really make noise. They get rid of people who really call this shit out, because this is not a game. There's lots of money at stake. There's lots of money at stake in what we do. I heard Tariq Nasheed say, hey, and the thing he's doing, man, and he's tried different things. And, and I remember when he was just the dating guy, the guy telling people how to land, how to score with the chicks and all this stuff. And he's like, when he started doing the FBA and started doing movies and the FBA stuff, he's like, look, I ain't no leader. Hey, quick, whoa. I'm not a leader. Leaders get shot. I'm just a guy. There is no leader. I'm just talking, and this is just people. Everybody, I don't lead nothing. So, like, he said that because he don't want no accidents to happen. You know you're on every watch list because you upset the apple cart, man. You upset it when you go against and you start saying the real shit. You either totally lame because you are calling out the system that everyone else has agreed to play. These roles, they all agreed to play. They all agreed to play these roles. They all agreed. Sort of like when they say, hey, we're going to put out this legislation or whatever, that's a script. It's like, hey, you're going to be this person who sponsors it. You're going to co-sponsor. These are decisions that are made. It's not organic. You know what I'm saying? The fucking heritage. These think tanks write the legislation. They are lying to you. You didn't write the legislation. It was written for you, and they give it to you. The lobbyists give you the legislation to push, man. That's really how it works. But they'll get on TV and gaslight and say, America don't know how it works. You don't understand how the system works. You don't understand the process, and we need to have a civics class. No, we need to have a polygraph. We need a polygraph for your ass and everybody else, Ms. Crockett, because some of us have worked in D.C. like almost our entire adult lives, know that the legislation is mostly written by think tanks and given to y'all through lobbyists, and you put your name on the shit. Like Obamacare, for instance. That's really how DC runs. Not the stuff you saying, but they allowed that person to go on platform after platform and talk down to black people and say black people don't know how. You don't know. You just don't know. Oh, baby, you just don't know how DC works, baby. Oh, I know. I know you want. I know. Shh. Let me do it for you. Let mama take care of this for you. Go sit down and let me handle this for you. I know everything. I'm a lawyer. You just go sit down. I got us. Joe Biden is the best person ever. I wish he was my daddy. And her real daddy was like, you should have paid for them damn school loans. You should have paid the bill on. I thought we brought you home from the hospital. Well, okay, Daddy, hush. This is business. This ain't real, Dad. You know I love you, Dad. Trying to work it out within the crooked ass system that we operate in. We operate in this shit system, and I'm just trying to operate in it, Dad. Get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It is what it is. But more of us need to know what it is. And I'm like, all we can hope to do is say, hey, make me an offer. Because this thing is so corrupted, so far-reaching. All we can do is say, make me an offer. Be honest with the offer if you want my assistance, if you want my vote, if you want my money. The only problem with it is we have large amounts of people who don't understand it, who are just rolling up and emptying their pockets and getting emotionally caught up in the BS and don't ask for a damn thing. I just saw a film where it was it looked like a whole bunch of black people, but you know, black people can be paid to come out and see Biden too. They only make you think Trump, the only person can bust people in. But they had Biden out in Michigan, and there was a whole bunch of black people in the audience. And they were like, we got your back. Joe, don't drop out. Don't drop out. Don't back out. We got your back. Don't back out. They were doing this chant. I'm like, where do these people come from? Why is nobody checking tag numbers to see if these are local people like they do when Trump do the shit? Why there's no people like making sure these are locals? Like it was Biden beyond doing some seat filling them damn self. I know in 2016 they had like noise machines to drown out the boos at the DNC convention. They had literal noise machines. The Democratic Party had noise machines within its own Democratic convention to drown out the boos from Democrats, not Republicans, who were mad because they stole the election from Bernie Sanders. They literally made them took their signs from them and then put a noise machine so you can hear them boo. But when they cover Biden in Michigan, they don't have anybody checking to see if there's seat fillers, to see if people got busted, if you brought these people with him. Where did all these black people come out for Biden? Where all these people come from? No one even asked that question because it's the agreed upon narrative. And somewhere there's somebody getting paid. Somewhere there's some people lining up. It's a setup. And even if it's not, who's investigating to see that it's not? Nobody. So when I got into this, I had no idea how this stuff worked. I was just like I was regular. I worked for a local newspaper here in DC. There was none of that going on the local level, guys. I'm trying to tell you, I wasn't in local politics. I was just in a local newspaper, and all I just covered local stories. That's it. That's all I knew about. Wasn't all that going on. One time I had to cover a story. It was for a company that was being slandered or bashed in the media. Like they say, Tommy Hilfiger don't like black people. One of those type of stories, but it wasn't that. But it was the same type of thing. It was for Mystic Iced Tea. In Mystic Iced Tea, the competitors have planted a story. Back then, you could plant a story in the media and say something like Mystic Iced Tea on their bottles is something about hating black people or something. Like it was something the competition made up. But things would travel word of mouth, and it would destroy your brand. You can lie and say, hey, that polo insignia is really a man. It ain't hitting no water polo. That's hitting black babies with the golf club. Be like, what, for real? And then somebody would tell somebody, and somebody would tell somebody else, and then somebody on the radio station would repeat it, and it was like off to the races. It'd be like wildfire. I was just using that as an example. That's not true. Disclaimer, that's not true. But what I'm saying is, people. So that was like the closest I got to covering a story that I was like, hey, that was my first inkling, like, hey, the media is really dangerous what people do. I was in like my 20s and like, damn, this is no joke what they do, how this game works. So this week has just been a reminder of me seeing yet another, this time it was Don Lemon bringing on Candace Owens. And it's just another reminder of how I think the game is one way, and I want it to be that one way, but it's not. It was a smart play for Don. He just started a new channel, bring on the controversial person, go get 200,000 views. You know what I'm saying? When Brianna Joy Gray did it, after losing her job and went on Candace Owens' channel. And they didn't bring up any of the horrible shit she said. They just talked about what they agreed with and just had a conversation. It was nothing wrong with that at all. It was a good play for Brie, you know. And then when, who's the other one? Mark Lamont Hill brought her on, and she, whatever, I don't know what he brought her on, Candace on for, but I forget. I didn't watch it. Maybe a little bit just to see something I saw. Her mic is up really loud. And Mark was doing his whole, you know, that thing he does, the same thing he did with Judge Joe Brown. When Judge Joe Brown cleaned his clock, like he was doing it. I can't get it. Let me talk. What I was trying to say is, you know, hold on a second. And Judge O'Brien was like, and the next time, and you can't tell me the candy ass and the nonsense of these people. And he was like, what I'm trying to, hold on. To be fair, is that true? Is that fair? Okay, what I'm saying, no, the next time, your dumb ass, and no, because the Democrats are the devil. And he was like, oh, no, that's the devil. No, you mean like Lucifer? What do you, I mean, hold on a second. And he's like, it's like, so there was a bunch of that, but the point is, it's like, it reminded me, it's like, oh man, Tim, when you gonna learn to play the game, man? Because these people are playing the game. And numbers went up, they didn't go down when they did this shit. Because the people want to see the theater. They want to see the theater. They don't. And the same holds true for all our politics. The same thing. The media game is the same thing as the politics game. It's all the same BS, man. It just is. And you know, say, wow, you know, I know there are people that can't stand Trump, they can't stand Biden. I understand, I get it. Why should you? I don't know why you would love these guys. I don't get the people that are like, oh, Biden. I don't get the people that are like, yay, Trump. I like, you know, except the times he plays with the media, he plays with truth. He says, the whole system's corrupt. The whole system's rigged. Like, that's a dope-ass thing to say. You never hear Biden say no shit like that. You know? But then what does he go and do? Keep it rigged. He keep it corrupt. He didn't uncorrupt it. I don't even know that's possible. I would like to think maybe it's possible in some ways, but the point is, they built Trump. You know what I'm saying? I try to remind people. Yeah, I know Biden and Trump bad candidates, but Trump was just a TV guy. You know how many people have shows? Like Steve Harvey is what Trump was. And they made a mistake because Hillary was so damn arrogant. She told them, hey, I can beat Trump, elevate him. She told her friends at MSNBC and CNN to put the cameras on Trump. Said, put the cameras on Trump. We want him to be the nominee. We know we can beat him. He sucks. Him or Ted Cruz. And when they put the cameras on Trump, and Trump realized they put the cameras on him, he said, well, I know what to do with a camera. I've been using cameras. And they let the genie out of the bottle. And once the genie was out of the bottle, was no magic words to make him go back in the bottle. So no matter what people say, no matter what you think about Trump, that was intentional by powerful people where it came back to bite him in the ass. That's how it all happened. That's what gets, but you say, how do we get these two candidates? Because of the greed and the corruption of the Democratic Party and the DNC is how you get this. It's not because of Trump. It's because of Cover Trump. It got so bad, and I was telling Mrs. Black this a couple of days ago. It got so bad in 2016, 2015, 2016. Trump would announce a speech he was going to do a rally. And I don't know, his competitors in the Republican Party would be actually doing a rally. They would turn from the actual speech that say Ted Cruz was doing or Krispy Kreme's was doing, and instead put the camera on Trump's empty podium. And they didn't do it because they love Trump. That's not why they did it. People say that, they don't understand. They did it because that's what the viewers wanted to see. They did it because the numbers of people that would watch and tune in to wait for Trump to speak, if it was an hour or 2 hours or 2.5 hours like Biden did yesterday, Biden took 2.5 hours. He didn't do his speech till 8:30. He was supposed to do it at 6:30. And no one said shit. The impromptu, off-the-cuff, extemporaneous, spontaneous speech where he had a list of names of people, reporters to call on, not pick them out the blue shirt, red shirt, whoever. No, who's next? No, but he had people that he already knew who was going to, okay, this person's safe, this person's safe, this person's safe. Like he had a list of shit. But Trump was such a draw. He was such a media magnet. People tuned in by the millions to see Trump's empty podium. More people watched the empty podium. They didn't turn the channel. They stayed watching and they just sat in the comment section, or they stayed watching and they just talked amongst themselves at home. Trump's empty podium got better ratings than CNN's roundtables discussions. Okay? And if you in the news business, you had to cover it because your competition was covering it. And that's the only way you could stay in the ratings. It was not because they loved Trump. It was not because it just took over. It started off, Hillary said. It started off, the DNC, the Hillary camp says. But as Trump started catching on, as he caught wildfire, they had to keep doing it. Because, I don't know, it was sort of like if you were black in the 80s and you lived in the hood and you found out about this stuff called crack. You didn't know what crack was. There was a time we didn't know what crack was. You know what I'm saying? It was weed, it was hash, there was no, acid or so, there was none of that. You know what I'm saying? And then you started hearing about this other thing, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't really know what that was, But by the time you figured out what it was too late. Like, it was the thing that people were making money. It was just like somebody was backing up a Brinks truck to the hood and just dumping money off. That's how much money was coming. I mean, white folks from all over, from all the suburbs, were driving in because they didn't even have it in their neighborhoods. They would just drive in with stuff, with money, with their checks, with their cars, and said, "Hey, man, you can have my car for the night. I'll find a place to sleep." That's real talk. And you're like, what the hell is going to, so if you was on a corner and you was selling hashish or weed or whatever, you would get moved off the block. You're watching other people make thousands while you can beg somebody to take that from you. So that's what Trump became. He became the crack of the media game, and he became crack to the news networks. It wasn't a choice. He changed media. I told this before, but I want people to understand. I know people who have become millionaires just because they covered Trump for the last 7 years. I literally know people who have become millionaires off that. Let that sink in, man. Regular people. That is nothing compared to what the networks made. There was the guy, the NBC guy? I forget the guy's name. Or was it CBS? No, but CBS. The CBS guy, CEO of CBS, he's no longer the CEO, I don't think. I remember he said, Trump may be bad for the country, but he's damn good for the news business. And they chose the news business over the country. That's really what happened. They chose the money. think his name is Leslie something. Someone knows it in the comment section. That's what happened. Trump steamrolled media, and it'll never be the same. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's, but he didn't do that to himself. It's like if you on a job, I used to work with some guys, you know, when I was in IT, I remember there was a guy who came and started working with us. He was a friend of one of the bosses at the headquarters or whatever, of one of the headquarter locations here. And he really didn't know anything about, like where I worked, there were people that had been there for 10, 20 years, you know what I'm saying? And knew everything about the network, the infrastructure, everybody, everything, how everything worked. They helped wire the building. They knew everything, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I came in like 5 years earlier, and this guy comes in, he didn't know anything. It's like, how you get this job? You know, he doesn't even know anything. We don't need anybody, and he doesn't know this stuff. It's like, well, and they're pissed off, and I'm like, well, you know, he didn't hire himself. You know, as angry as we are about it, why are we going to chip, man? He didn't hire himself. They gave him a job, and that's what they wanted. They wanted him. Maybe he's here to spy on us. I don't know what he's here for, but they put him in here. They put Trump in. They put Trump in the same way they put that guy in at my job, and they're responsible. So as upset as as sad as Van Jones is, as pathetic as Bakari Sellers is caping for Biden, all of them that are crying, Whoopi don't care if Biden controls his bowels and all this stuff, she's still gonna vote for him, whatever. At the end of the day, it's the Democrats who put Trump in. All because they thought they could exploit him and use him to get Hillary in. And it backfired on him. And now Trump is the genie that won't go back in the bottle. And they've been saying everything. They said January 6th, and he won't go back in the bottle. They said lawsuit, you know, Georgia lawsuit, and he won't go back in the bottle. Hell, they even started before then. They said Hollywood access tapes, and he would not go back in the bottle. They said Charlottesville, and he will not go back in the bottle. You know what I'm saying? They said, Central Park 5, and he would not go back in the bottle. Though we should apologize for that shit, because Trump took out not one ad, but 3 ads in 3 different newspapers, all calling for the death penalty of 5 kids who didn't do shit, who were exonerated. And he doesn't have the guts to come on TV or to go in front of an audience and say, hey, I got that one wrong. I wish I could have got that one over. He could do that. He could do that. He really could. And if Byron Donalds and all the other black people that want to cape for him, they can't make that. If they can't make that line in the sand, and they can't say, hey, Trump, you need to do that, then they sellouts. Because that was 5 lies. He called for the death penalty for innocent people. That's what he did. And even after the exoneration, he doesn't say, hey, man, they really screwed up. And I screwed up too. He won't even do that. So you should really hold him accountable for that one. Yeah, that's no spin. He should. But that didn't stop him. The genie still didn't go back in the bottle because he said it about some black kids. It's what it is. Not really his core demographic. Until now, it's like things have changed a little. And that's because of the actual disgust, the frustration level, the outside frustration level of black voters with Biden. With riding with Biden, as Clyburn wants to put it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's a big funky game. And the funny thing is, the way Trump flipped it on him, if it wasn't my country, I mean, you know, I would find it hilarious. If it was someone else's country, if it was a movie, maybe it would be like, wow, man, it was an interesting movie. Did you see the Trump took over the world movie? Man, that shit was amazing, man. That was crazy, man. You see how he did that? But it's not a movie. It's real life. What's going on? It's just that there are people that will not accept it. They won't accept what we have. And they make up stories in their own minds about what's happening instead of they don't get to know enough to make a different choice. You know? And I still hear people talking about they might put Hillary in. I wish they would put Hillary in. Nothing more than I would like to see her lose twice. Lose again, please. Please lose again. She went off in the woods and she came back. She went off in the woods and she comes back. She went off in the woods and she comes back. And it's like she won't go away. So it is what it is. But I'm learning the lessons I didn't want to learn. I'm learning the truth. The more I learn the truth, I just come out here and share it. I just tell you what it is. It is what it is. We had a shot at a real country back in like 2016. There was an opportunity. We could have became a real country. We could have became a real thing. We would have dismantled and broke away from the banks and the corruptions, and we could have overturned Citizens United and got money out of politics, man. I mean, we had a shot, man. We could have gave people like something, like we could have did something. I mean, Obamacare is a big ass payback to the pharmaceutical companies, man. That's a big ass, that ain't nothing but between Obamacare and those damn prosperity zones for the rich, whatever, they're not doing nothing but propping up corporations, man. That's all that is. That's all it is. But we had a shot, man. We could have been a proper country, man. We really could have. We could have a proper country with some actual representation from actual working people. You had a shot at it. And then came Obama. You had a shot at it in 2020, and then came Obama. He made sure that did not happen. He shut it down, Johnson. He shut it down. But by that time, Bernie had much proven that he was going to play ball and just accept the system the way it is and see if he could tinker around the edges a little bit. And I don't know, maybe he accepted that before. Maybe he was all smoke and mirrors like AOC seems to be at this point. You know, everybody, it's easy to seem like a superhero until it's time to be super. Do you realize they're not a hero? You know, everybody wants to go up against Godzilla till Godzilla show up. So I don't really know. But where we are now is all we're trying to do is get a little something around the edges to save the babies, to somehow get our children's lives in a position where they could be close to where we were. That's really what this is supposed to be about now. Is as you get older like me, it's trying to make sure your kids can have a life at least close to what you had. There ain't no more exceeding. There's no more exceeding, Johnson. That ship has left the building. We done outsourced our futures to other countries. We've outsourced their opportunity zones. We've outsourced these opportunities. We've outsourced our futures. That's what we've done. That's what neoliberalism is. Privatization of all community and public goods. Put it in the hands of corporations. And what do corporations want to do? They want to make a profit. What? Every year. They want to make more profit each year. They want to give more dividends to their shareholders each time out. They don't want to improve the service. They don't want to improve the quality, the longevity of the product, or whatever it is. They want to boost the revenue, boost the profits off the same thing. Meanwhile, no one's boosting your pay. No one's boosting your take home. No one's boosting your income. No one's boosting your assets. And the reality is most working people don't have that many assets. Maybe a home. Maybe. Most young people, particularly black young people, don't start off with homes. Right? So, which is a whole nother long ass story. But yeah, so what we're trying to do is stop the bleeding at this point. Stop the bleeding. Somehow put a tourniquet on this shit, right? Or we're going to have to cut off the entire limb. Like, whatever choice do you have at this point? So yeah, man, like what I don't want us doing, man, like I'm covering I'm covering the race I'm covering the prize fight for the presidency, but I don't want us at each other's throats, man. I don't want us losing our minds going at each other. I mean, these are not good options. It's not like it's good versus evil. That don't exist. That does not exist. Not in this system. Trump never really wanted Hillary to get locked up, and just what the crowd wanted to hear him say. If you lock Hillary up, you can lock his ass up. And then they violated. Trying to lock his ass up. So we'll see where this goes. And that is something that they're concerned about right now. Because maybe Trump they keep saying it. And at first I was like, guys, shut up. He keeps saying he's going to be vindictive and vengeful and come for you. Hey, you know what? That's your problem. That's like a personal problem. You know what I'm saying? If you're afraid he's gonna come for you, maybe you shouldn't have shot him when he came to that girl's house that night. Maybe you shouldn't have shot at him. Shouldn't have shot at Andre if you thought he was gonna come back and shoot you. That was on you. You shot that bullet. You shot the gun. I'm just glad we got out of there in one piece. How was that my problem? How was it my problem, Whoopi? How was it my problem? Insert name a person who pissed off Trump, and Trump gets power and comes after you. How is that our problem? It's not our problem, Michael Cohen. How is that our problem? How is that our problem? It's not my problem. I'm going to lose sleep because you might get some retaliation. Last time I checked, was it Giuliani? And believe me, I'm no friend of Giuliani, but I'm hitting that guy for like millions of dollars, like 1.5. It's some crazy numbers. Giuliani's ass is. They prosecute the hell out of these people because they were playing a game and they went too far. So you're supposed to play these roles, like I said before. If you go too far, well, then there are people that are not playing the game to that extent, and then they got their directives, what to do, and then they came for you. And that's how you end up being Trump's people. So Trump's been coloring outside the lines. He was playing a different kind of game, not with them. He took it personal, and then he went AWOL. He went crazy. Trump went Trump, and that's why they're after him. That's really what it's about. That's how I see it. That's how I see it, because no one went after Bush. He took us to illegal wars and nobody went after him. He disappeared people and no one went after him. Nobody did anything. No one did anything to Reagan. Reagan basically destroyed America. And nobody really did anything. This always is old. God bless his soul. People wrote songs about him. You know what I'm saying? But Trump is like, nah, it's a little different. I feel like it's a little bit different with Trump and what's going on. But yeah, man. What I'm seeing now in this system is bad. It's bad, Johnson. It's bad. And at least we got each other. You know what I'm saying? At least we got each other. At least we have the truth and we have our wits with us. And we have the ability to separate ourselves emotionally from what's going on. And I can tell you, man, it's a beautiful thing. My white viewers, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be a black person that's truly rooted in blackness, because you've had hard times before. You become accustomed to what hard times are like. You're on a trip of possibilities of hard times. And I'm sure there's a lot of white people who've had hard times too. But collectively, some of your friends, some of your cousins, making you look bad. Crying their eyes out like the world is going to end based on that individual that's in the office. And yeah, America is a country that actually had slave owners in the White House. And there were people that lived in this country at that time with little to no rights. And somehow, we still get to 2024. So I imagine whatever happens, and don't get me wrong, hey, I want better for us, and I'm willing to fight for it. But I'm just saying, like, I'm seeing some people, with trepidation, like fear in their hearts and their eyes, looking at like, oh God, what am I going to do? But like, you're going to do what you do every day. You're going to get up. And you're going to do what you got to do to take care of your family, like you've been doing. Like you've been doing, This idea that America's been so fantastic the last 3-4 years. Like it's so amazing. Yeah, if you're on Wall Street, yeah, if you got a bunch of stock in Apple, yeah, maybe it is. I'm not saying, I don't speak for everybody. Shit. The last 4 years have been the worst years of my life, and they don't have anything to do, particularly the last two, but they don't have necessarily anything to do with who's in the presidency, who's in the White House. I lost my dad and I lost my daughter. Within 2 years. And I became a full-time, hey, it's one thing to be a granddad, man, but tell you something. When you move 3 kids in permanently, yeah. But it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing to have to have 2-year-old. 24/7. But what I'm saying is there are worse things. Like there's real life. So I've had real life things kick me in the guts, kick me below the belt. You know what I'm saying? So, I live 15 minutes from DC. And other than the traffic, like they had the thing at the NATO summit, wifey had to the train wasn't even running to DC. She had to take a bus to be able to get to work this week because of that NATO shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember when they blew up the Pentagon. Was it the Pentagon? Yeah. With the 9/11 joint, I used to drive past the Pentagon every day going to work and just look at that shit like, looks real to me. What I'm saying is, whatever goes on in DC, Pennsylvania Avenue, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, what goes on there, we still got to do what we got to do. We still got to get it out the dirt. We still got to take care of our families. We ain't going to lose our minds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, America's been through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of horrible things have happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the 30s, the Great Depression, hey, we ain't even talking about Jim Crow. That's a whole nother conversation, right? We could talk about that. Black codes, what are you doing standing here? What are you doing black standing here? Why are you black and standing here? What are you doing back talking to me, boy? I knocked teeth out your mouth. Like, that's America. That's America until that's your America when somebody walks up and says, hey, what are you doing standing here? What are you doing white and standing here? And you go up and they knock your teeth out your mouth. Want me to knock some more teeth out your mouth? Say something else back. You eyeballing me, boy? That was how America was. And now you're like, oh, Trump's racist. Oh. Both of them are from the correct age demographic to be very racist. They grew up when that was like normal shit. Like that wasn't even anything to blink at. It was like nothing to blink at. I mean, this is what it was. But whatever happens, whatever the comings, whatever this comes to this election, it should not turn into the freaking Civil War like that movie. I haven't even seen that movie. I want to watch it. I'm going to watch it. But don't tell me, yeah, it's going to be a civil war. It's all, yeah, you know what? If there's going to be a war, it should be anything but civil. And it should be over money. It should be over money. And it don't solve everything. But this class warfare we got a serious problem, man. We got a serious problem. Because we ain't gonna never fix the racial issue totally. Just not. And those people that said, hey, we're gonna get over the racial issue because all the racists gonna die out, man, they got kids. And them kids, there's some racist kids. Go to TikTok. Go to X. There's some racist kids. Go to X. That's not all bots. All of it's not bots. Elon Musk did not invent racism. He just realized it's there and I'm gonna make some money. And I'm not going to kick every. If Elon Musk kicked out all the racists off X, it would only be like 2 people on X. Well, about 200 people would be on X every day if you kicked out all the racists. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is we've had hard times before. We'll have some more hard times, but we're resilient people. We're resilient and we can deal with this. And I remember a lot of black people jumping out of buildings because the stock market crashed. We worked in the basement. That's one reason. So I encourage everybody to be black for the next couple of months or the next 6 months or whatever till we get through this. It ain't even going to be that long. What is it? 3 or 4 months? What is this? July, August, September, October, November. All right, so I guess it is. So we got some time, right? None of that running down the street like the TYT people losing your mind. Oh my God! Oh my God! All that Cenk Uygur shit. No. I think Cenk Uyghur's grown up a little bit since then too. More of it seeped into his brain like, hey, this is all BS. I mean, he had to know he worked at CNN or CBS or NBC, MSNBC. He had to know it was bullshit when he was there. That's why they got rid of his ass, right? I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to keep it real, man. We don't need to be at each other's throats. We just don't. Try to get some policies that work for us. Get the gatekeepers out the way. Get people that really speak for us, speaking for us. You know what I'm saying? As working class folks, let's make that be mandatory. Let's make that be the goal. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only opportunity we have in this. We're not going to eradicate racism. We're not going to eradicate sexism. Hell, we can't even kill the common cold up in this mofo. And we're going to get into minds. No, we want to go after behaviors that are detrimental, that are harmful. We go after those behaviors that people do, like discrimination, like that. Go after that shit. But more importantly, let's put some money in the pockets of the people. That's what I'm talking about. If anybody who doesn't understand that, morons and say shit like, oh, I wish they wouldn't have took the money. What does that say? It don't say shit. It says America's a capitalistic society, and it's a lot easier to live in America when you got money. So don't be a moron, okay? Until they invent regeneration or until they invent resurrection, right? We got to go with money because that's the next best thing. Money. So let's do that. Let's push for that. One last thing on this reparations argument. Stop falling for every politician saying they support reparations when they ain't never said reparations out their mouth before in existence. Let's just stop that. That Hail Mary bullshit because now they want to bring up something and nah, man. Nah. Recognize that's nonsense. Okay? If Biden comes out his mouth with that, I doubt he'll do it. That's when he's really, that would be really saying like the 11th and a half hour, 11 minutes, 10 minutes before midnight, he's like, reparations. Yeah, I'm gonna give you money, blacks. No joke. Real deal. Jack, it's a fact, Jack. A shot. You hear him? A shot, a fair shot. You hear him talk that shit? Yeah. Don't buy it. If he ain't been talking about it up to this point, he ain't gonna do it. He ain't been talking about it up to this point. It is a beautiful thing, man. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I know it's crazy, right? But look, here's the deal. It's a fact, Jack. You don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, here goes the story. Here goes a good story, man. And this is anecdotal, man. Remember, this is just something that happened to me. Okay. So we started off, we had the story with, I told one story. Let's see. I always hesitate telling this story because I don't want to give people the wrong impression. Okay, here we go. It's called the Lake Story, right? Rob, you may remember the Lake Story. So me and some friends, we got tired of being in the DC area. We wanted to, one of my friends, I had a white friend, real close white friend who, call him Eminem if you want. And Eminem, actually there's a white rapper that's dope as hell. He's on TikTok. I forget this guy's name, but he got some bars. He's way better. To me, he's better than Eminem. But it's a whole different delivery. More gritty, more street. I love it. So he had family in Virginia. And I would say it's not West Virginia. It's just Southern Virginia, right? It's not Northern Virginia though, right? So he was like, hey man, we can get away from DC and we go hang out. We can go spend some time at my dad's house in a place called Catlett, Virginia. I'm like, word, Catholics sound like the sticks, man. For real, they got cows and shit. He was like, nah, they got no cows, man. So me, him, and a couple other black guys, we went down. So we went down to Eminem's dad's house, man. We were there, and I met really Southern white people. Really Southern white people. I mean, spitting tobacco, listen to the Etheridge boys or the whatever boys, some country shit, like cut off shirts, you know what I'm saying, with the cigarettes rolled up in a like cooter. Like this is like the Dukes of Hazzard. Like the Dukes of Hazzard, those when they were young, like those guys, and like the mechanic, whoever the mechanic was in Dukes of Hazzard, that guy, scruffy beard and cut off shirts, and for some reason wearing two shirts. I don't know what that was about, but and so they were cool though, man, and they drank a whole lot of beer, man. So we had been there all day, we're chilling out, drinking beer, and we just kept drinking beer and drinking beer and drinking beer. And these guys just kept bringing beer and telling war stories and just talking shit. And one of the during our conversations, and I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm talking a lot, and people are laughing, and we're having a good time, and I'm holding court. I'm having, and man, yeah, man, remember that time, Eminem, you did this. Oh man, yeah, Eminem did it, and one of the guys said, man, you know what? I like you, Tim. I like you, man. You're all right for an N nigger. You're all right for an N word. I was like, what? What you call me? And they don't know, Tim, man, he don't mean nothing by it, man. He don't know, man. And Eminem was like, man, Tim, man, he don't, man. Believe me, man, he don't mean nothing by it, man. He's just from here. He a redneck. He don't know. He shouldn't say that. He drunk. I say, man, bump that, man. He just called me N-word, man. Nah, man, I ain't, nah. What you mean I'm supposed to overlook this? Say, look, I understand, man, but he drunk, Tim, and he didn't mean that by it. So, nah, man, I can't overlook it. He said, they got a lot of guns, Tim. I said, well, maybe sometimes you gotta let things go. But I was mad, man. I was protesting. Under protest, let the record show. If I would have been bulletproof, I would have not took that. But that day, seeing as I didn't have a car to leave, seeing as that was Jimmy who drove us down there, seeing as we in place where there is no lights at night, like I'm in Catholic, I had to take that one on the chin. So the next day, everybody a little hungover, but I'm still upset about it, but it's whatever. Those guys didn't live with Jimmy. They just lived around the way. So, damn, I said his name. Eminem. Those guys didn't live around Eminem. They lived nearby, okay? So we went to this lake that's near where the dad's house was. We go to the lake, and we just, joking around and chilling and whatever. Some people are smoking some stuff or whatever. And I remember, Eminem jumped in the water, man, and he's like, man, and he said to some of my other friends, he says, hey, man, I'll race you to the other side of the lake. It's like a lake or a pond. I guess it's a lake. I don't know what it is. It's made by nature, not by people. So whatever you call that. and I was like, I'll race y'all to the other. He said, I'll race y'all to the other side of the lake. I'm like, dog, I can swim, but I can't swim that good. That look far. I'm not doing that. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not gonna do it. And my other guy was like, other friend was like, one of the other friends was like, yeah, I'll race you, man. He said, I got you, because they always competed for stuff or whatever. So, like, okay, cool. Okay, they're gonna race. Okay, so they both jump into the water and go. Now we're watching. I'm watching safely from the bank. Me and another black friend were watching from the bank. And at this time, the white guys that were there earlier, they kind of show up. They show up there, hey, what you guys doing? I said, Eminem and dude, or my friend, whatever his name was, are racing to the other side of the pond. We're watching them swim. And as I'm watching them swim, I'm watching Eminem go like this, go towards the other side of the pond or whatever, right? The lake, right? And I'm watching the other friend kind of do like this, right? He's not going straight. Like to get to land, you got to go straight. If you go this way, it's farther because it's just long. It's like, it's very wide, but it was not far across. as far across as it was wide. And he's going the wrong way. And I don't know where he's going. And we're like, hey, man, you're going the wrong way. And he's doing like this. He's swimming. And he's not even really looking. I don't know what he's doing. So the water's a little brown anyway. He's like doing like this. And next thing I know, it's like I see him like doing like this, right? I was like, hey, he don't even look like he's swimming no more. He look like he's drowning over. He look like, and I'm a black, so it's kind of funny at first. I'm like, man, somebody need to help him, man. Hey, come on, man, what you doing? And he's like, help. I'm like, damn, man, what are we gonna do? And on my kids. Now I hate to say that, but no bullshit. The white guy, the night before they called me the N-word, jumped in the water, swam all the way over there, got my friend that was drowning, saved him, swam all the way back. He was an excellent swimmer for a racist redneck. He was very good at swimming. Excellent swimmer. Dragged him back to the land and pulled him up on the bank. And he was conscious. He was crying. Yeah, boo-booed on himself. It's sad, man, when you're a grown man. We were like 19. We were men. Very young, but dumb. But it's sad, man, when you boo-boo on yourself in front of all your friends. You know what I'm saying? Not cool at all. But he was happy he was embarrassed, but he was alive. And then by that time, Eminem had came back across the side, came back across as well. And we're like, man, and this guy, he's throwing up. I mean, he was close to drowning. I swear he was close to drowning. He boo-booed on himself. He's close to drowning. He's throwing up, everything, but he did not need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Everything else, right? Worst day. And I just remember looking at that white guy, man. It's like, damn, this guy. And I was a young guy, man. I was still trying to figure out, how can a guy who will refer to me in such a horrible term, you know what I'm saying, jump in the water to save another black guy, to save a black man, and do that? Like, why would? And that's when I realized something. I realized swimming lessons are important. That's the first thing I realized. I also realized that people say a lot of dumb shit. Sometimes they mean it, sometimes they don't. But that's not the totality of who they are. Not always. You know what I'm saying? Not always. Some people, and this is my experience, this is nobody, you take it for what it's worth. I live this. I actually saw it happen. I guess if you saw something like this happen, sometimes when we canceling folks, right? Sometimes when we cancel people for doing things and saying things, making certain statements, whatever, right? We're judging them totally on whatever they just did. And don't get me twisted, man. I was mad when he called me the N-word like that. I was mad. I was pissed. But that wasn't the entire thing of who he was. You know what I'm saying? The same guy who would be offensive like that to me, who was offensive like that towards me, it's the same guy who saved my friend's life, man. He saved a black man's life in front of me. So he could not have really hated black people. Because I don't think people who hate black people save black people's lives. And that doesn't mean I'm caping for anybody who's a racist, who does racist stuff. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, whenever I'm looking at a situation, I cannot help it. I have to consider the possibility that what I'm witnessing is not the totality of that human being. And I know I have the benefit of that experience, I'm encumbered by it, right? I have the penalty of it as well, because I have to now extra think, right? So someone says something or does something that's, like objectionable, horrible, or just wrong or out of pocket or whatever, disrespectful or whatever, right? I'm unfortunately sometimes think about that summer at that pond in Catlett and what somebody did for my friend. And Everybody who was at that pond knows. And I just witnessed it. The guy's life he saved, I saw him on Facebook like a couple years ago. He had to live with that. He was there when the guy did what he did and said what he said to me the night before. So I don't know, man. I'm not, like I said, man, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm not going to change your opinion. I'm just giving you the benefit of my experience. I'm just telling you what I got going on in my mind. I'm just relaying to you the same things that what I've discovered through research or how I feel about politics or whatever. And hey, a man changed. How's it go? Change a man against his will, he's of the same opinion still. Don't let anybody take your cornbread, Johnson. Don't let anybody take your cornbread. Don't let nobody tell you what the world is or what people are and put people in little boxes. And don't believe the media bull BS narratives because it is bullshit. It really is. It is BS. You know what I'm saying? It's theatrical. It's not real. But then there are real things that are going to happen. Real things happen. Like someone drowning in a lake and somebody goes on there, they risk their life and they go save them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's real things that happen. And then there are real things that happen when, 12-year-old Tamir Rice gets his head blown off by some cops at a playground for having a toy gun that shot no bullets. And then we got Candace Owens who said it's his parents' fault. And then Don Lemon brings her on. And then Mark Lamont brings her on. And then Brianna goes on this show. And somehow, I'm trying to make it. It is what it is. Look, guys, my name is Tim Black. Go to jointimblacktv.com. Jointimblacktv.com. Email me at tim@timblacktv.com. I love you. I got nothing but respect for you. Hope the best for you. I want for you what I want for myself. That's what a measure of a true friend is. I don't want better for me and less for you. I want us all to win, right? And I think we need to get something out of this election. Or why even participate if you can't get nothing out of it? That's the whole point of it. It's not to say, we ain't here to say Biden. Biden's supposed to help us. We ain't here to help him. I don't want to hear another person say, I feel bad for Joe Biden. I don't want anybody to say, I feel bad for Trump. These are rich people who have never worked a real honest, hard day's work in their lives. Joe Biden is 82. He will be 86. He's already the oldest person in the history of U.S. presidents. He already did it. He already did it. He does not need to go another 4 years. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. Hey, it's loony. You already got the record. Shit, why are you trying to lap your own record? All right, that's it. I hope to see y'all next week. Remember, we'll be back Sunday. Only day we don't do is Saturday. I'm off tomorrow, but I'll be on Sunday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you then. Shout out to my new member. I got a new member by the name of NK. Give it up for NK in the house. Thank you, NK. I appreciate you. And at least I know it wasn't all for naught. Thank you for joining, my brother. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you, Buck, for moderating. Any other moderators? Maybe some kitty showed up or Frank Lee showed up. I appreciate y'all. Nothing but love and respect for you. I see you all. Thank you for being Patreon members. Thank you for supporting this show. I'm out of here. All right, baby. I'm done.